Welcome back. So we start out with my first blog in the series on letting go that I wrote in February of 2006. Again, the background was that this person had been my best friend and ended up, after trying to stick with me after the separation started, just ended up taking my husband's side. And so I was angry about that. I was really angry about that. In my more insane moments, I would drive past her house and scream bitch as loud as I could in the middle of the night when nobody would notice. But it was this catharsis of this rage and this feeling of betrayal that I had. So she was in my head all the time, and she was living rent-free in my head all the time. And so it prompted me to write this blog about how I knew I should forgive her, but I just didn't want to. And so, of course, it's called Forgiveness, and I will try and get back to the anger that was there to kind of communicate it to you. So forgiveness. It happened this afternoon. A person that I've been angry at and have resented for a long time crossed my path. She knows I'm angry. She knows why. Because, I'm sorry to confess, I've been talking shit about her. Not something I'm proud of, but there it is. As she crossed my path, there was an icy energy between us. As she left, I explained to my friends who were with me who she was and why I was angry. And of course, being my friends, they totally understood my position and sympathized. I knew it was inevitable. Although the original reason that we parted has long since passed, recently it's come back to haunt me. So there it was, and I jumped on it, feeling the anger and, again, ignoring the pain, of course. I started thinking of her, talking about her. It was only a matter of time before, inevitably, she would show up. Where previously we had exchanged pleasantries, this time there was none of that. This time there was just a stony silence. She keeps popping up in my life, and in the most unpleasant of ways. There is no escaping her existence short of moving far, far away. And I refuse to do that. I won't give up my life around here just to not be around her. And there's a part of me that thought for a moment, well, she deserves what she gets. Not very loving, I know. A lot of people know about the two of us, and a lot of people think that I'm completely justified in my anger. A lot of people have helped me plot revenge and have joined me in gossiping about this woman. It seems others have grudges to hold against her as well, which only perpetuates my justification in being angry. But as the moment passed and she went away, I realized that I really didn't enjoy the feeling I had. That in fact, I can't justify my behavior because it is just as wrong as what she's done. And I know that if I don't enjoy a feeling, escaping that feeling is just a choice away. So I started thinking, I need to forgive this person. At one point I thought I had. I woke up one day and I just wasn't angry with her anymore. Since that time, however, I've had the opportunity to build the anger back up again. The truth is, I don't want to forgive her. And that's not about me being able to look at my role in the whole thing. I'm an expert at looking at myself and my behavior. I'm extremely clear on the part I played in this whole sorry mess. I just don't want to forgive her. And that's a problem, I think. So then I asked myself, what would my life be like if I forgave her? At this very moment, I find it hard to picture. I've held my anger and my victimhood so dear for so long. I can't imagine a life without it. I can't imagine a day or even a moment without it. So what do? Continue to abuse myself with this anger and hatred? Or let it go? I know what I should do, but what I want to do is completely different. And so it's time to open the question up to the universe for an answer. And someday soon, it will come to me. I wonder, what would my life be like if I just let it go? Right now, I have no idea. So, wow. I look back at that piece and I really can remember the pain and the anger and the justification I felt in holding on to that anger. And I remember, lots of people were angry with this woman for a lot of different reasons. And boy, howdy, did we have a club of anger and angst and upset against this woman. So I guess if I was going to ask you a question right now, I would ask you to really think about someone, and you probably already know the answer. Is there a person in your life right now that you need to forgive because you recognize that anger and that poison doesn't help you, but you just don't want to? And what I would say to you is, if there's more than one, certainly list that down, write it down. But what I want you to do is accept that. Let go of the part of you that's judging about whether or not you should forgive this person. Go with me for a second and recognize that you don't have to forgive them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not going to tell you to. So let that go. Let go of the idea that you have to forgive anybody. You don't have to. You can if you choose to, and if you choose not to, you choose not to. My point is, part of what keeps you stuck in not forgiving someone is the idea that you have to forgive that person. That's judgment. That's shoulding on yourself. That's shame. It's guilt. And all of those things don't serve you either. There's no reason to punish yourself. What you do then is you just shift that a little bit and go, well, yeah, I need to forgive this person, but I'm not going to. Not right now. I'm just not ready. And honor that. So, I suppose if there's an exercise, it's write down the name of the person that you feel like you need to forgive, but you don't want to. Write it down. And then Write down all the reasons you shouldn't forgive this person. Make it a long diatribe if you want to. Make it a huge, just take everything that you've got, all of the anger and the angst and, yes, the victimhood from that, and write it down. Explain to yourself why you don't think you need to forgive that person. Now here's what's going to happen. You're going to get it out. You're going to accept the fact that you're not ready for it yet. But here's why. Here are my reasons. And then when we get to the next part, we'll talk a little bit more about what to do with that. But for now, sit with it. Accept that you don't want to forgive somebody. Let go of the blame and the judgment and the shame. And be okay with you don't want to forgive them right now. Don't. No point. Until you're ready, if you ever are ready, there's no point in trying to forgive them unless you want to. We'll see you next time.